Today's story is Seymour in Michigan, Settling into Camp, written by Carol Craven Bates and illustrated by Kari Wimsatt. If you would like a copy of this book, there's a link for it in the description. Chapter 12. Seymour was up early the next morning and had already been to the lake for a snack before the whistle blew announcing it was time for chow. The children, however, weren't as bright and shiny at that hour. After their multiple dipped ice cream cones the night before, they were on such a sugar high that the counselors had a hard time calming them and getting them to quiet down enough to fall asleep. Although after a breakfast of pancakes and syrup, they were soon re-energized and back up to speed and raring to go. The Smotter and his new friend stayed in the dining room long after the cooks had cleaned up the kitchen and left the building.
Boys and girls, what do you want to do today? Do you want to take a nature hike through the woods? It will be nice and cool in the shade of the trees.
Brian shouted, "Nah, we want to go fishing. You promised us yesterday to take us fishing at the lake, but the dinner whistle blew and then we didn't have time after supper." As a collective group, the others yelled, "Yeah, we want to go fishing. You promised and you have to keep your promises."
You're right. Everybody needs to keep their promises. Okay, that's a good idea. Let's go fishing right now. Everyone, come with me to the kitchen and we'll find some containers to put our bait in and look for some string. We might ought to take us a few snacks too. Fishing that way makes you get very hungry.
The Smotosaurus led the way to the kitchen area where everyone searched in the cupboards and closets looking for something suitable to hold fishing worms. After an exhaustive search, Seymour said,
"Here's a ball of string and a pair of scissors. I'm glad we found something to cut this string. I had forgotten about that. I guess these coffee mugs will have to do for our bait because I don't see anything else that's the right size. Everyone take a mug and grab a spoon too because we'll need something to dig the worms out with. I'll fetch us a few bags of cookies and chips."
On their way to the fishing site, the Smotter made a quick trip to his cabin to pick up the package of fish hooks he found by the lake on the first day he had arrived at camp. The group of children went on ahead without him. It only took a couple of minutes until he caught up with them.
"Okay, boys and girls, let's go over here between these trees and dig around in the dirt with our spoons and see if we can unearth some worms. When you find one, drop it down in your cup, but be sure and scoop up a little dirt to put on top of it so it won't try to crawl right back out, because worms like it dark."
Most of the girls decided to let the boys do the handling of any worms they were fortunate enough to find, but they didn't mind helping with the digging. When everyone determined they had enough bait, Seymour started handing out long pieces of string and fish hooks. Before anyone had time to tie a hook to their fishing line, a couple of counselors showed up at the lake and quickly gathered up all the hooks the children had in their hands. "Boys and girls, we thought we made it clear that you were to stay away from the lake area unless a counselor was with you." Brian set the counselor straight. "Nah, you told us not to go swimming in the lake, and we ain't swimming, we're fishing. Children, you aren't to come anywhere near this lake without proper supervision." Carter shouted, "Seymour is with us, and he's our camp coach." "Yes, he is your camp coach, but I specified you were to have proper supervision. Now gather up all these coffee mugs and spoons and march them right back to the kitchen where you found them and dump that dirt out before you get there." The Smotter just stood there dumbfounded. He didn't know what to say or do. He couldn't understand why the children weren't allowed to engage in anything that was fun without an adult interfering. As the counselors herded the children back to the center of the camp, he mumbled,
"Humans are really strange. They have more rules than you can shake a stick at. Oh well, when in Rome, do what you need to do, or something like that."
Seymour decided all wasn't lost because the counselors hadn't noticed the bags of cookies and chips piled by a tree. He thought,
"I guess I'll eat these snacks and wash them down with some fish and take a swim before I go back to camp. I better save one of these bags to put the trash in because I sure don't want to get in trouble."
When the youth minister arrived by the edge of the lake, he found the Smotter floating around in the water singing,
1 little, 2 little, 3 little fishes, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little fishes, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little fishes, out on the deep blue sea.
Hi, Seymour. Are you thinking about fish or fishing?
Oh, hi, Mr. Ben. Yes, I'm always thinking about fishes. I was going to teach the boys and girls how to fish, but a couple of grumpy counselors came and shooed them all back toward the Chow building.
Yeah, well, Seymour, that's what I came to talk to you about. The counselors weren't being grumpy, they were being protective. You see, there's a possibility that the children could get hurt with a fish hook or accidentally fall into the lake. I know you were only thinking of the fun the children would have, but the adults in this group are responsible to the parents of all these boys and girls to make sure they don't get hurt. We have to protect them from any dangerous looking situations, and sharp fish hooks and deep lakes are on the list of things we have to watch out for.
I thought a fish hook was only dangerous to the fish. We weren't going swimming. We only wanted to go fishing, so I didn't see why the children couldn't come down to the lake. Mr. Ben, I didn't realize camp was such a dangerous place.
It's really not, at least not any more than any other place, but we have to make sure we do all we can to protect the boys and girls from any possible harm. Will you help us watch out for them and keep them safe? Don't give them anything sharp and don't invite them too close to the lake. Will you do that for me, buddy?
Sure, Mr. Ben. I don't want the children to get hurt either. We can have fun away from the lake, too. Do you think it's close to lunchtime yet?
The youth minister looked at his watch. Not quite, pal. It'll be another hour and a half until lunch is served, but maybe we can find you a snack in the kitchen. Come on, I'll help you find something to tide you over.
Okie dokie, that sounds like the best plan I've heard all day. I'll throw this bag of trash away while I'm there because I sure don't want to get in trouble.